Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News, and we have an exciting update today on another brand new Halloween horror movie coming our way, not just this year, but this month, in fact, in just a few days. It's called Haunting of the Queen Mary, and it takes place aboard the real-life ocean liner Queen Mary, which is said to be one of the most haunted places in all of America. The official synopsis describes the film as a psychological horror which explores the mysterious and violent events surrounding one family's voyage on Halloween night in 1938 and their interwoven destiny with another family on board the infamous ocean liner in the present day, as the two families become violently entangled in a haunting ghost story. Here you can see the official poster has the tagline, "Evil has a new vessel." Haunting of the Queen Mary is directed by Gary Shore, who directed Dracula Untold for Universal a few years back. I actually really enjoyed that movie. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I own it as well. So excited to see what Shore is going to do with this new movie. And it stars Alice Eve, who you may remember from Star Trek Into Darkness. It looks like her character is part of that present-day storyline, and she's excited to give people an experience on the Queen Mary, much like they would have experienced in the 1930s. The official trailer for the film was released online earlier this week and gives us an idea of the various haunting activity that we're going to experience with the passengers of the Queen Mary. And some of the scenes definitely pay some homage and reverence to Kubrick's The Shining, among others. The trailer opens with this shot of the Queen Mary itself, and the Queen Mary is a real-life ocean liner. According to Wikipedia, the RMS Queen Mary is a retired British ocean liner that sailed primarily on the North Atlantic Ocean from 1936 to 1967, when, after years of decreased profits for its owner, Queen Mary was officially retired from service. She left Southampton for the last time, check this out, on Halloween, October 31st, 1967, and sailed to the port of Long Beach, California, where she was permanently moored, and she still sits today, where she has been transformed into a hotel and all-around tourist attraction with guided tours, including some haunted tours, restaurants, and lots more. And Time magazine has called the Queen Mary one of the top 10 most haunted places in America. And a very dark shot here, but that is some carnage, some bodies piled up, and blood on the walls. And one of the heads actually slowly turns toward the camera here early on in the trailer. As we get a couple establishing shots of the Queen Mary itself, obviously a contained movie where there's nowhere to go once you're out at sea. A little scary in itself,
of the Queen Mary.
As Alice Eve's character is talking about imagining that you were aboard the Queen Mary circa 1938. And then we begin to get some of the 1938 imagery. Now, while we don't get a ton of Halloween imagery and atmosphere in this trailer, there is a bit. Now, obviously, Halloween in 1938 is not going to look very much like how we recognize Halloween today in 2023. Costumes of the time, of course, nothing was licensed from any recognizable characters at that time, but people of that era would often dress up as pirates or cowboys or outlaws, or sometimes as sports figures. Here, this family, they do appear to be in some sort of costumes.
And the stranger stories.
Ghost stories?
The door to room B474 ominously shuts, signaling that something bad probably happened in that room. Again, a bit reminiscent of The Shining.
You want to go on the haunted tour?
And we see some cool shots here. Obviously, people dressed up for the Halloween gala back in the 30s.
There's been a murder.
And the captain gets told of a passenger who apparently lost his mind, and then we get some of this carnage. The piano player here says "Happy Halloween," the drums pick up, and the violence begins in this trailer. Here we get a quick shot of a sign advertising a Halloween celebration party happening. And obviously there'll be references to The Shining, but also references to Titanic too. Here we see the band playing on as some characters wearing life vests are running past them. I really like this creepy shot of this ghostly woman playing piano. She screams that she needs to leave the ship.
Leave the ship!
We get some very quick shots of some of the spirits and ghosts that are going to be haunting the ship. And there's this guy, apparently the passenger that the captain was being warned about, who is possessed maybe. He goes on what looks like a killing spree with an axe. And he's wearing some sort of costume, not exactly who he's supposed to be.
Although we're famous for our fiction, sometimes facts can be much stranger.
So overall, the trailer just sets up a cool idea that we're getting two simultaneous stories taking place in two different centuries, and somehow they will be interwoven together. And again, not a whole lot of Halloween atmosphere featured in this trailer. Don't know how much will actually be in the film itself, but I love the idea that it's set in Halloween circa 1938, because that's such a different type of Halloween celebration than we typically see on screen. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's depicted here. And yeah, a lot of reference and homage paid to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining in this trailer. There's even one point where one of the characters says, "Come play with me forever." Very Shining-esque. But I think that could be effective, and I think it makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna make a contained haunted story, then there's a ton worse films that you could draw inspiration from. So if it's half as scary as Kubrick's The Shining, then I'll be thrilled with this. Haunting of the Queen Mary will be released in select theaters and on demand on August 18th from Vertical Entertainment. You can watch that full trailer right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. We've put a direct link in the description of this video. Give me your thoughts on everything we know so far about Haunting of the Queen Mary. Have you visited the actual Queen Mary? I'm curious about that. Are you excited for this film? You know, I'm always in the mood for some new Halloween horror. Very exciting that it's coming next week. I'll be looking forward to check it out. I want to hear your thoughts, though, in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our ongoing coverage of Haunting of the Queen Mary and everything else we've got coming your way right here on the HDN YouTube channel. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.